We're now joined by George Krol. He's a former U.S. ambassador to Belarus, Kazakhstan, and Uzbekistan. Thank you so much, Ambassador, for being with us on the program. Now, Zelensky, he is eager to get his hands on some aid, especially after Trump cut U.S. aid to Ukraine. How much support will the EU pledge to Ukraine with this new arrangement they've now made?
Well, as you have reported, and I'm seeing this as you are as well, that the European Union leaders have unanimously agreed that they would step up their funding for their own defense, but also with the indication that they would provide more military and perhaps financial support to Ukraine to keep up the support that Ukraine is already getting. I would say also from the American perspective, again, I'm not speaking on behalf of the United States government anymore, I'm retired, but that there has been a suspension of U.S. aid to Ukraine. A suspension is different from just a withdrawal. So the idea might be that there could be a resumption depending on certain conditions. And as you've noted in your reporting, the Ukrainians and the American government will be meeting in Saudi Arabia soon, perhaps to discuss arrangements that could lead perhaps to a continued flow. That's simply speculation, of course, on my part. But in many respects, I'd say generally, as we say, the devil is in the details. And it's one thing to make announcements of increasing aid, by large amounts of, 600 billion euros and the like. But actually, that aid getting into the field in the form of military equipment or increased military preparedness on European countries, that is a long process, and the European Union, is a complicated bureaucracy, and getting things done in coordination with so many countries that are members of it, will be quite a challenge. So, as you had said in your own reporting from your team, that this is it's a challenge of how quickly assistance can be brought to Ukraine, and will it make a difference when the effort is being pushed to at least have a ceasefire, as President Zelensky seems to be offering, and we have not yet heard what a Russian reaction is to that at this point.
Indeed. You mentioned that meeting, the expected meeting in Saudi Arabia. It seems like the EU wants in on those discussions. We heard from Ursula von der Leyen saying that peace is only possible with the support of the EU. What does this statement tell us about how the bloc feels on being sidelined by the United States?
Well, I think that there is certainly they have mentioned this, that they do feel sidelined. I do not know to what extent the United States government has been consulting or discussing, informing European Union or European partners of what they're doing and saying. But it's understandable that if they want to have a seat at the table, who will be that seat, and when will it be appropriate, or when will it happen? These are all details that in this whole moving picture of how you establish negotiations and who sits there, and who will be making any kind of commitments to it and the like. So this is the early forming phase, and also with a new American administration, they're somewhat feeling their way as well. They've only been in business for just a matter of over a month, I would say. So it's to be expected that there'll be there's a lot of grinding going on here as things perhaps start to fall together, and we will see how it will fall together. It's difficult to tell at this particular stage where the stars are moving, in what constellation, and the like.
Right. I mean, the EU has had a grave impact on the war in Ukraine, whether it be the sanctions that they've imposed on Russia, the aid that they've been providing for Ukraine. How soon can we expect them to engage in high-level discussions with Putin on negotiating a peace deal?
The European Union, you mean, or
right,
the United States, or everybody? Well, I do not know whether or not the European Union, and again, who from the European Union, what format that will take. Will it be the foreign minister, as it were, of the Commission, who is the former Prime Minister of Estonia? who has been pretty vocal in her characterization of Russia and the like. Will that person and will this be welcomed by the Russians? Do the Russians want to just deal with the United States about this? Again, all the Russian party has yet to be heard from as to how they are going to engage with Europe. And it's not quite clear to me at this stage of who will speak on behalf of Europe and would be there present at any negotiation with the Russians, the Ukrainians, the Americans, what kind of format it would take. And, would the Russians accept and actually attend, such a forum?
Okay, George Krol, thank you so much for being with me here on TRT World and sharing that analysis with us. I appreciate it.
Thank you.